This week's Torah portion picks up where last week's left off. So we're still learning details about tsaras, the discoloration that back in the day would appear on occasion on a person's skin or on their clothing or on the walls of their home. When that happened, if they suspected tsaras, the person would have to go seek out a Kohen, a priest. And only a Kohen could determine whether indeed the discoloration was tsaras. Why would that person have to seek out a Kohen? One commentator suggests that the connection is as follows. The main transgression for which God would force the person to suffer tsaras was the sin of lashon hara, saying something negative about someone else. Someone who does that is acting selfishly. If he or she was thinking about the feelings of the other person, they wouldn't have said something negative about them. So because they acted selfishly, they have to go out and find and interact with a Kohen. A Kohen represents selflessness. The Kohanim, the priests, represent the rest of the community. There is no I in Kohen. So he forced the person who acted selfishly to interact with the person who represents selflessness, hoping that some of that will rub off on the person who sinned and he or she will learn a lesson. Nowadays, we no longer have tsaras. We don't have that divine lightning bolt that appears on our skin as a result of saying lashon hara. But we do have an analogous situation that forces us to seek a certain type of person. God may place us in a circumstance that calls out for a decision in Jewish law, a halachic decision involving the laws of kosher, kashrut, or the laws of the Sabbath, or God forbid, laws involving the death or burial of a loved one. And so we're forced to reach out to a rabbi to ask a question. Not only can you get a technical answer to your question in Jewish law, but you may also get advice. You may also be inspired. You may also hear about topics that you didn't even realize were issues when you went to ask the original question. The sages in Pirkei Avos, the Ethics of the Fathers, tell us, "Aseh lecha rav," make for yourself a rabbi. That's a weird expression, but that's what you have to do. You have to make yourself a rabbi because you've got to put time into the relationship. You've got to spend enough time so the rabbi knows you and knows your family and knows the dynamic and the situation so that he can give you particularized, individualized advice in addition to answering your questions in Jewish law. When you do that, when you develop that relationship, you could get advice that's as great as that of Yoda.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
But of course, in order to get great advice, you've got to pick the right person. We don't believe in infallibility or human perfection, but we certainly believe that there are people out there who can inspire us. In my house, we have a joking phrase for when someone quotes a leniency in Jewish law, but they can't show you where it's written, and they can't name a rabbi who said it. We'll say, "Oh, you must have consulted with the full of bulla Rebbe." The Rebbe, the Rav who's full of bull, who's not the real deal. You've got to find the Rav who is. But even once you do, there's a process that you have to go through. It's not as easy as Daredevil going to his priest and getting forgiveness for something that he's done or he's going to do.
Perhaps this would be easier if you tell me what you've done.
I'm not seeking penance for what I've done, Father. I'm asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do.
Au contraire, after your rabbi decides your question in Jewish law or gives you particularized advice, you still got free will. You're still going to have the decision whether to follow his advice or go along with his decision. He can help you out, but at the end you'll have to man up. But he's there for you to help guide you.